Hello there, and welcome to an episode of Rantz. It's Crisandro, of course, and don't mind the hair, just taking it out. So just want to have a little quick wash or whatever. That's not really why I didn't want to do the video. First things first, we've announced the signing right here. As you might have seen on our Twitter page, we announced the signing of Sergio Reguilón, which will be as fantastic. This is the one I've been looking forward to ever since we've been linked with him. And I'm glad it's been announced. Obviously, he was here. He already did the medical on Wednesday and Thursday in Madrid, and then they flew over here. I'll say they, you know who I'm referring to when I say they. But they flew over here and they just had to sort out the formalities and everything like that, get everything out of the way, and it's all been announced. Reguilón is now officially a Spurs player. It's on a 5-year contract. And I know there is a lot of stipulation because of the buyback clause involved. Basically, it's the buyback clause is just a little vehicle that Real Madrid have to insert into the contracts of the players that they're selling, so that they can buy them back later on during a fixed time. In Reguilón's case, it's within the next 2 years, and they can buy them back for 40 million. Obviously, we bought 40 million euros. It is, so around about 37.5 million pounds. We bought it for 27.5 million, as you all know. So yeah, that's the buyback clause, and it's still up to the player then to leave if he wants to, and if he doesn't, well then that's sod you, Madrid, really. But I've been really excited about this one for a long time, especially when I heard that Manchester United had decided not to pursue this deal because of the buyback clause, and we go ahead and we just go straight in there and we tie up the deal. Am I worried about the buyback clause? No, because if we do enough here while Reguilón's in town with the club, when we set out and achieve everything that he's assuming everything that he's been told that we're going to achieve, a challenge for the title, challenge for Europe, challenge for trophies. If we do all that, you're not going to want to leave him, is he? So I'm not worried about that at all. It's all about how we implement him, and that means that our forward play and defensively he's brilliant, but going forward is where he's at, and he is the business. Remember the whole Walker and Rose from a few years ago? Well, imagine that now with Doherty on the right and Reguilón on the left, and it's gonna be fantastic. I just can't contain myself. It's gonna be brilliant, and the two marauding wingbacks. It has to be wingbacks really, because I don't imagine that they'll play. Reguilón can play as a proper left back because he's got that discipline. Doherty, not so much. He can do the job there, but I think he relies on someone behind him to make sure that no one gets in behind. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, it's all signed, sealed, and delivered. He's officially a Tottenham Hotspur player. I don't know if he was signed before the Friday 12 p.m. deadline, which would mean that he'll be able to play against Southampton. If not, then it doesn't matter, because we'll have him for the League Cup game against Leighton Orient on Tuesday. That'll be probably his first outing. And then we have him for the European trip on Thursday as well against Shubes of Macedonia. So this is all signed, sealed, and delivered. I can't wait to see him in action. I really can't. I'm buzzing about this one. And also, of course, we've got Gareth Bale to announce as well. And if you've seen the video that Spurs put out for the announcement of Reguilón signing, then you know that you see the number 9 in the background. That's going to be assigned to Gareth Bale. They've also changed their description on the Twitter page to read Bale's 3 previous numbers, and then the 4th one, which is going to be his number for the season and possibly next season. So yeah, that's all been pretty much made into an open secret, really. But yeah, so Reguilón, welcome to Tottenham. Look forward to seeing you play, and I can't wait to see you in action. And I'll be back with another video later on to announce the Bale signing. So when Bale's announced, there'll be 5 first-team signings. I know we include the youth players as well, Alfie Devine and the lad from Sheffield United. I've forgotten his name at the moment. But no disrespect to you, but So that's 5 signings I've included. So that's Joe Hart from Burnley. That's Matt Doherty from Wolves. That's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg from Southampton. All brought in. Reguilón signed in from Real Madrid. And then later on we'll announce Bale as well from Real Madrid as well. So send it to a good window. And a lot of people have been moaning already about the transfer business. They've forgotten about the 3 transfers already in the earlier part of the season, part of the window. But, you know, signing players is not as simple as it is on FIFA. So, but that's what's always going to happen. That will always be the case. But I'm just buzzing about this one because it's the one that I really wanted. We cried out for a left-sided defender for a little while. We also need a centre back, obviously. And I hear that Kim Min-jae is still going to be the one that we're going after. We need a striker, obviously. And I hear that who is it? Is Ruben Diaz, I think his name is, from is it Benfica? I hear that we are strongly linked with that one, and we are going to I think we've made an offer in about for him. So Ruben Diaz, possibly, hopefully that should be one of them. But this one is for Reguilón, Sergio Reguilón. If I can say your name right, I do apologise. Welcome to Tottenham, Sergio. Come on, you Spurs. Well done, man. And then just like that, as if I could be planning any better, seconds later we announced the signing of Bale on loan from Real Madrid. So that's all been confirmed now. That's the 5th signing of this window so far. Gareth Bale has been re-signed. I say re-signed because obviously before after Real Madrid he came from us, didn't he? So if you haven't been living under a rock, that is. So yeah, we re-signed him on loan initially. The loan amount is going to be for about £15 million, and it's actually an option for an extension to that loan at the end of the season if we're all happy with how he performs. So that should be an interesting one there. So Gareth Bale back. He's going to be the highest paid player at the club, obviously, at £220,000 a week, which seems like a small amount when you consider that Real Madrid are actually subsidising the remaining 60% of that. So yeah, so they'll be fronting up the rest of the 440,000 a week. They just want to get him off their books, I guess. But yep, he's back with Spurs, and there's a few reports really saying whether he's currently injured or not. I've sort of been reading on certain websites, and I'm not quite sure if that's the case or not, but it's probably more a case of him being unfit, as it were, as opposed to being injured. So chances are a quick fitness regime, maybe a couple of weeks doing that, and then we'll see him in the Spurs shirt again. So yeah, it's all happening today. It's all been announced. I know that on a sports channel they are going to have an interview with him prior to the Southampton Spurs game tomorrow, so I guess they had to get that one out of the way there just to make sure. But there it is, Gareth Bale has returned to Spurs 7 years after he left, and well, let's see if the promise is all there. But so far the team looking good. If let's just say if he plays his potential how he was before he left. I know it's been a while, but so we all remember how he was before he left. So imagine that team now. What would be your strongest side? There's a question for you. What would be your strongest side now? If you include the new signing of Reguilón on left back, you got Doherty on right back, you got Højbjerg in the middle to do the shielding, obviously, and well, what team could you put together? Centre backs. I mean, my strongest side, I would prefer Alderweireld and Sanchez there, obviously with Lloris at the back behind them. So I'm not going for a 4. I must be going for a 4 at the back. Yeah, that's another interesting one as well. What would be? Would you go 2 at the back or 3 at the back now? If we're going for 2 centre backs and then the 2 wing backs, it'd be Højbjerg and that'd be Lo Celso there, wouldn't it? So Lo Celso there alongside Højbjerg, and then the front 4. Imagine that. Imagine that, the front 4. Heung-min Son on the left. Imagine Heung-min Son on the left. Blimey. And Ndombele through the middle there. Gareth Bale cutting in on the right. Harry Kane through the middle. What do you think? Is that good? Is that good? And then, and we still have to look for a striker. We still have to look for a centre back. It's all coming together. And like I said earlier, you know, we've already signed 5 first teamers, and then you got a couple more that we signed who will play in the under 23s and the under 18s respectively. And it's turning into a good window so far, because we're addressing the areas that we need to address, and that's the important thing so far. So we get those two positions sorted, and this is on the condition that Aurier stays and fights for his place alongside Doherty, because we will need Aurier. I don't care what people say, and he was improving at the back end of last season after the lockdown and whatnot. It's ever since Mourinho came in, and he has been improving. So whatever people are saying about him, it just goes to show that I haven't really been watching enough of the last 8-9 games, or even more than that. But I would not be adverse to Aurier staying, and I would love for him to stay and fight for it, because he's pacey and he can put in a good cross, you know, and I consider he's pacey and he can get back, and we do need that. We do need a player who can actually recover. You know, it's all good, it's all well and good them attacking, but we do want them to come back, especially if we're playing a 4 at the back. You know, if we're playing a 3, then there might not be much of an issue. But there we go. Tell me what you think. Are you happy with the window so far? Is there, apart from the 2 that I mentioned, do you think that we should actually be strengthening in other areas, or as including those areas? Let me know what you think. But this is one happy Crisandro. Let me tell you this, I am buzzing, especially for Reguilón, because I've been wanting him for a little while, and I'm so happy that we got him on the left side. That left side is going to look so sick right now. You get me? Looking forward to it now. Come on, you Spurs, man. Can't wait for the next few games to start. This is a new Spurs, man. Let's see it in action. Come on.